Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions regarding this watch. Today, one of Jaeger-LeCoultre's very best. This, launched in late 2024 for the 2025 model year, is the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso Tribute Chronograph Rose Gold, a 250-piece limited edition in deeply dark red gold. It features a solid gold dial, a solid gold movement, a retrograding chronograph on the back, and a case featuring no fewer than 50 individual parts. It is a large reverso, make no mistake. So in terms of size, 29.9 millimeters from side to side, not including the crowns and pushers. In profile, I measured it at 11.5 millimeters thick, so it's pretty thin for what it is. And then from lug tip to lug tip, 49.4 millimeters with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and it's big, but it fits. I wouldn't necessarily wear it on a wrist smaller than mine, but if your wrist is 16 centimeters circumference like mine or larger, this is actually going to be a pretty good match. Now, I've owned a lot of Reversos, big and small, and I would say this is a nice modern look. If you want something super traditional, get the old Grand tie. But if you want something with a modern wrist presence that is not lacking in elegance, this is a great selection, and you can see it is thin, and it will fit under a dress cuff. So though it's big, it's slender. I really like this. And again, you can see my arm's pretty large. Sometimes it is important to take into account the size of your arm and your hand, not just the thickness of your wrist. And again, my wrist is 16 centimeters. The strap is very soft, buttery smooth. It is Fagliano designed, but it is also Swiss made, as you can see. So this is not from Casa Fagliano in Argentina, but it is designed by them to their specifications and then made by Jaeger-LeCoultre's Swiss OEM supplier. So you've got this buttery smooth calf leather, and it's a very light sort of honey brown. You can see there's a lightly contrasting stitch. We've got a bit of this leather on leather broguing like you'd see on Fagliano polo boots, that for which the house is famous. The side is sheer cut and then lacquered in the same color as the leather for refinement. We have a pin buckle in matching rose gold. You can see the JLC maker's mark on that. And then a case in red gold as well. Now, the thing about the Reverso is if you only look online, you'd swear they're just uninspired rectangles. But there's so much nuance to these tapered conical lugs, the vaulted barrel-like profile of the case, the squared off ends. You can see it is quite a bit more nuanced than internet photos would allow in these gadroons or the strakes. They wrap all the way around the case. Since about 2016, JLC has been using this off-centered sort of sunray motif underneath the rotating portion of the case on these watches. Also, since 2016, they've started to add a little bit of curvature, or at least some angularity, to the lugs on the back of a Reverso, so the lugs can sort of angle down at the edge of your wrist a little bit more than they used to. So that's where that comes from. The case, again, 50 pieces or more. It's 30 meters water resistant, which may not seem like a lot, but prior to the 1980s, no Reverso was ever water resistant. So it is actually quite an innovation to be able to say that. Now, taking a look at the reverse of the case, you can see 30 meters water resistant, 3 bar. That's what that is all about. 1 of 250. Master 1,000 hours control. That means the watch has been, as a fully cased up watch, through a 1,000 hour or 41.6 day test of chronometry in 6 positions, power reserve, function, durability, water resistance. Introduced back in 1992, the Master 1,000 hours control was really one of the first in-house standards to go beyond the COSC. Now, remember, COSC is just a bare movement test. On the dial side, we have this lovely combination of faceted applique rose gold indices, faceted Dauphine-style hour hands, and then a solid gold dial. And you can see it has these lovely side-to-side strakes or ribs to give it definition and a lot of visual power. There's a very subtle sort of dental pattern outboard. You can see there's just this little bit of socketing or notches in a row, and then flipping everything over, what's really extraordinary is that the bridges of the movement are also solid 18 karat gold. This is a nod to the way some of the 1990s complicated reversos were built. The rose gold complicated reversos, each a limited edition, in some cases did include solid gold movements. Back in the day, I believe the movements were 14 karat gold. Now it's 18, but deeply impressive stuff. You could see that those bridges feature stripes and beveling, as well as beveling in the jewel sinks and the screw sinks. Note the presence of both mirror polished and fired blued screws. What's different on this compared to some of the Reverso retrograde chronographs that have come before, including the 1996 model that inspired this watch, you've got a dial showing you the time on both sides. So you can see these are not independent time zones, but they are coordinated so that they will always show the correct time, and they are actually reversed to run in the correct direction no matter which side you're wearing. So the idea here is that if you do want to wear the watch on the chronograph upside, you can do so and still read the time. Now you can see that there is actually quite a good deal going on here. We will activate our chronograph, which uses a column wheel and a lateral clutch. By the way, the column wheel feel is excellent. Now, also important, taking a look at those hands, you can see they're half frosted or half brushed for better contrast. We have a lot of color here. We have rose, we have silver, we have blue, even a little swatch of red on the scale for the chronograph seconds and the minutes. Now, taking a look, you can see that there is a retrograde minute display down at the bottom. That'll jump back every 30 minutes. We have a 4 hertz beat rate. If you look underneath this index, by the way, we have these floating gold indices on the case back, but if you look below this one, you can see this is caliber 860, and if you look below that one, you can see it has 38 joules. The movement is sized and shaped for the case, so JLC, a full movement manufacturer, building the movement with the case size in mind, not just hoping to make a movement fit a case, a hand and glove design system. You can see the free-sprung architecture allowing very precise adjustment and better shock resistance, also the use of KIF shock protection, a long-time JLC tradition. They wouldn't use something as common as Inca block. Now, you can also appreciate that we have quite a few details. Satinated levers and horns for the chronograph, a mirror polished column wheel, polished screw heads, fire blued screws. You can see that we've got this lovely Lancet style counterweighted chronograph seconds hand, and then the manual wind movement has a 52-hour power reserve. I'll give you a few different angles so you can fully appreciate what's going on here, but it is deeply beautiful, and from every angle, not a single mistake to be seen. The epitome of elegance. You just need a slightly large wrist like mine or larger to wear this watch. This is an opus. Deeply impressive stuff, guys. Gold movement, gold dial, gold case, limited edition, column wheel chronograph with retrograde minutes from Jaeger-LeCoultre, as good as it gets, and a sign that La Grande Maison of the Vallée du Jeu might finally be in the midst of its long-awaited comeback. So reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details, a final detail. You can use these little pull tabs on the spring bars to pop the strap off the case without tools, and there are recesses under the lugs that allow the strap to be flush to the case with no daylight visible. Like I said, this watch hits on all cylinders.